We live.
All right. See, I told you already better. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a very, very long time. I don't even remember. When was the Gracie episode? Do you know?
It was like, wasn't it?
Like
it
September, I think.
It's like, was it 2 months ago? 3 months ago? It was the homecoming game.
Yeah, I don't know when that was.
It was a long.
That's like October.
Yeah, it was like 2 months
October?
ago. That was a while ago.
My bad. There's been like a lot, aka like 2 people that have said that we need to put more episodes out. So here we are.
Yeah.
One of them I think was Lucy, and then I think Gracie said because she goes on like long.
Well, no,
calls.
Allie said some too because she was like, I need something to listen to.
Oh yeah,
on the drive
Allie's
back.
also. So that's up to 3 now. So
Yeah.
shout out you guys.
Well, Allie said it because she was like, I need to listen to something on the way back. That's it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while, but we're back, and today we have Allie's sister, Alexis,
Hi, everybody.
aka Paula in my books.
That's my Manny payer. She pays me nothing, actually.
I was about to say, I actually do not.
The goodness of your heart.
Yeah. I allow you to be around my children. That's your payment.
Yeah, because the last 2 times she did, it wasn't the best time for the kids.
He's fired.
I totally didn't give them alcohol by accident.
Okay. Well,
I'm going
sad to
jail
say,
now,
but
thank
Thomas
you.
is going to start our episode. So I don't know if that's a good pivot, but go ahead.
So Alexis, we've talked a lot. We only, at least me and Cole, only have known you as a mother. We really have, because have only met you since Junie was the earliest, I think, was since you had her.
Yes, I knew who you were before I was pregnant with Junie, but I did not meet you yet.
Yeah, I think we met once Junie was born. I think afterwards, right? I think it was like a little bit after that.
My brain no longer functions. As you just said, I am a mother. I cannot tell you when that
No,
was.
yeah, that I understand, but we want to take a step back because, like, in reality, me and Cole doesn't really know you other than you being a mother. So we want to take a step back to learn who you are before you were a mother. So, like, my first question was, and I already know this story, but I don't know if Cole does, and I think
not.
Allie knows. So how did you and Aaron meet each other? Because, like,
I think Allie knows. I think that's my sister.
I was
I would hope she
Yikes.
knows.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure she knows because you talked about it. I think on the Christmas party when we were here, because that's when I learned when how y'all met each other. But I don't know if Cole.
I did.
That's how I remember. I remember
Like
you guys
the
talking.
Christmas party.
Yeah, like
a
2
couple
days ago. Yeah, like two.
Wow.
Yeah,
I do not recall that.
yeah. This girl, we were playing this game, and I pulled a Patron, and I asked her to trade. She was so excited to trade for a Patron.
I love tequila. Tequila and I. Yeah.
So yeah, how did you and Aaron meet?
On a blind date.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Aaron is my husband. The,
Yeah.
the father of my children.
Shout out the
yes.
camera woman. Thanks, Allie.
Yes. A blind date that I had no idea I was going on. He knew he was going on a blind date, but not me. My friend at the time, her name is Alexis as well. She was talking to, whatever you want to call it, Aaron's cousin. And Aaron had come into town. He was at West Point at the time. It's a military college in New York.
Oh, so he was in the military at the time.
He still is.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
On paper. Actually, that's another story for another day. Yes, she asked me to go out for drinks, and I was like, no, I've been working all day. I'm tired. And she was just really insistent, and I was just like, okay, I guess. So I got off work. I went home, changed my clothes. She came to pick me up. We literally lived like one neighborhood apart.
Mm-hmm.
Came to pick me up, and we went to the Carolina Ale House downtown Raleigh.
Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, it's one of my favorite places to go.
I don't know why.
I like
need to
Carolina Ale
rethink
House.
that.
It's good.
You need
Well,
to
this is
rethink
when they
that.
served pizza. When they served pizza, it was really good, but they don't serve pizza anymore.
Wait, you go to the one in downtown? I thought you went over to the one by like.
I went to both. So, like, whenever I was closer to downtown, I went there with my friends, like
Oh.
Ethan and them. But whenever we got off of
Pizza.
work, it was there. The pizza wasn't bad until they took it off the menu.
That's hello. And took it off the menu.
Why did they do that?
It wasn't terrible. It was pretty good for the price. It was like $8 for the whole pizza.
Anyway,
Yes,
continue.
right. And she and I, we like got some appetizers, some drinks, and she's like, oh, they're here. And I'm like, oh, did you invite some more friends? And she's like, no. And so I'm like puzzled. And I turn around and there's two men walking towards us. I was immediately pissed off because I did not sign up for this. Whose idea? Who approved this?
See,
and I couldn't leave because she drove.
I don't know how you feel about this though, but I've heard other people talking about not like surprises, but it's better to like not know that, so you don't like psych yourself out.
I just wouldn't have shown up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I definitely would have said no, I'm not going. But yeah, that's how we met, and we sat and talked for like hours until they
that
closed.
same night?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We sat until they closed, and then none of us were ready to go home yet, so we went to Waffle House and talked more.
Mm-hmm.
Just the two of you?
So we all went, but of course they were like, I think we sat at the same booth for a little bit, but like when we got ready to leave, she and her guy got into his car, and Aaron and I got into her car, and we sat there for like another hour and some change talking.
Wow.
And then I was ready to go home, so and I told her that, but she wasn't leaving, so I drove myself home in her car. We were only like 5 minutes from the house.
Okay,
Plus,
okay.
she knows where I live, so she could come get her car whenever she was ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it.
So y'all hit it off.
Yeah, and we spent like every day together that week that he was here visiting.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the 6 days that we spent together, like I knew I loved him, and I drove home crying because I thought I was a psycho. Because how do you fall in love in 6 days?
That sounds like a movie.
You meet
right
at Carolina Ale House, which is our
See?
sponsor for. No, I'm just kidding.
Just
See?
don't order the pizza.
They don't have it. They don't have it.
Did you
anymore.
imagine
Different
you eating
locations
pizza?
might.
No, I'm telling you. So like the this is how I found out the pizza wasn't there. I went to Carolina House with me and my work buddies when I worked at martial arts like a while ago, and I usually order the pizza every single time because the pizza was just like a safe option. Like I really enjoyed it.
Safe option.
for me. It was
chicken tenders, fries.
Well, the chicken tenders either was too dry or too more. It was one or the other. But the pizza was fine, right? So there was one day, it was like after work, right? Me and my buddies went to there, and I was super excited for the pizza because we worked like a 12-hour shift. I was tired. I dealt with kids all day, so I'm like, okay, I'm feeling nasty. I just want some food and go home, right? Walk in, I was like, hey, can I have the I think it was like a 12-inch cheese pizza or like something. I don't remember what it was. They're like, oh, we don't serve the pizza anymore just because like it was a low demand like order, so we just took it off the menu.
Because it was nasty.
It wasn't that bad.
I cannot imagine working a 12-hour day like with snotty-nosed kids bothering me, irritated, and I'm just like, ugh, I can't wait to go to Carolina Ale House.
Weren't you a preschool? Weren't you like a daycare?
Okay, when I said I cannot imagine working a 12-hour shift with snotty-nosed kids, I can because I did
That's
that for a
what I
living.
say. I feel like
But what
you can't
I'm saying
imagine
is my release after that 12-hour shift is not going to be no pizza from Carolina Ale House.
Well, I was like 14, so that was like,
Okay.
I was
Okay,
like
you
14,
should've
15.
led with that.
Yeah, I was like
Should've led
14,
with
15.
that.
I wasn't
Today he just
No,
wants to
I
get
wasn't
pizza.
today because I was like 14, 15, so I worked like a 12-hour shift with the kids, and I was like, okay, pizza's like pretty good when I was 14.
Okay, understandable.
So that's
but
why I was like,
still wouldn't have gone to Carolina Ale House.
I didn't have an option. I didn't drive then.
Aaliyah says we need to move on to the next topic. She
Bored.
says keep it rolling.
You're wrapping us up?
Next.
That's crazy. All right. You have another,
Whose idea was it to let her be here?
Allie? I just said, is your sister cool with us doing this? And then she said, yeah, I'll be
said
there. And I was like,
probably not.
okay.
What? Do you know me? And it's still sitting over there. You see that?
Yeah, that Mercedes Benz looks nice. I'm not gonna lie.
That's ridiculous. Can you?
Huh?
Was that for that was for Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That looks good.
Dang.
I
The
definitely
girls
rent
got
it.
a new car before I did.
They got a G-Wagon, and their mom drives a Honda CRV.
Who got the G-Wagon for them?
Santa made it, right?
Mm.
Or no?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Excellent. From
Mm.
Santa.
See? All right, Thomas. Our director is telling us to move, so you have
That's
another
it.
question? That's it?
I thought it was gonna be longer than
Cool.
that.
Well,
I mean, I can go into more detail. I was trying to be.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask like, so after 6 days, right? Because were you going to college at the time or no?
Can't remember. I was in and out of there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were based here though at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so did he graduate from that college and then?
No, he graduated from Central. So he came back home. We met at the end of December. He went home like either right at the end of December. No, because we spent New Year's together. So he went home like January 2nd.
So is
3rd,
home
maybe.
here for him too?
Yeah, he's from Raleigh.
Okay.
He went back and he moved back, I want to say in February.
Oh,
so he
wow.
wasn't gone long. He was already in the process of like leaving. He was just home for Christmas break.
Okay.
And then we just kept like traveling back and forth to my mom's house or his mom's house.
Mhm.
And he moved here to Durham, like on his own. And December, on our first anniversary, we moved in together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when did y'all start dating then?
If you ask him, the day after we met. Yeah.
You know what? I respect him. But for you, in your terms, like,
That's what he said, so I just roll with it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he was on the phone with someone, and he was like, yeah, call you back later. I'm with my girlfriend. And I was like, you're what? Who?
after the first day?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny because I was gonna ask, like, because you said after like 6 days you were kind of like already in that mindset.
Yeah.
It sounds like after one day he was already like, let's do this.
Yeah.
So clearly the feeling was mutual. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. You weren't as psycho as you thought you were, maybe.
Yeah,
There we go. That's nice peace of mind.
for now.
Well, that's cool. So wait, what's the situation with him being in the military still? Because is he
On paper, in the government system, yes, he is active duty. But he has no unit. He has nobody to report to. He's not receiving a check from them. So, like, yes, technically he is in the military, but, like, he has no
Is that because of like?
affiliation.
Is that because of like the college you went to too? Like, did that
No,
screw
so
up
he
anything?
did do ROTC when he went to Central. That's where he graduated from. But it's a whole lot.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
he was waiting for his clearance, kind of still waiting. COVID kind of slowed things down a lot, so
Uh-huh.
it's just like a waiting game.
Do you think it just got lost throughout the process, or no?
Probably?
Wow.
I don't know.
When he hops on Call of Duty, that's his deployment. That's him going out.
That's
Squatting
funny
up.
because the last time I saw him before the Christmas holiday that like party that you had, we had it at the brunch at Byron's
Byron's
place,
house.
and he was playing Call of Duty then. It was really funny. He was like really hyped about it too, because he was actually really. I think that's when MW2.
All right, we'll not get
I
into
don't know,
that
yeah.
because then
Don't
people are
ask
gonna.
me.
Yeah,
Something like
I
that.
just bought one for Christmas. I think that's 3.
for
Oh, you
him.
bought for him?
Yeah. Not for me. I don't want that shit.
You never know.
Yeah,
Your
may
mom,
never
you gotta
know.
let out some.
Let out some anger, you know. I get more
Frustration.
angry.
Not on Call of Duty. Not
probably-
knocking it, but
It's a good outlet, I'd say.
Yeah, see,
I'm
his
going to
man
have-
cave up there is really decked out for him. I could tell. 'cause
yeah.
that recliner
all
is
him.
super nice. I can tell. I remember moving in, helping y'all move in. He set everything up already by the time like we finished
He
moving in.
did.
It was really funny.
But yet there's still boxes on his side of the bed upstairs.
Really? Still? Because how long ago was it? Wasn't it like?
June.
Was it
6
June?
months.
Oh yeah, because it was during the summer. Because I was here to help with some clinic stuff for the gym. I do remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our unofficial tumbling coach.
Okay.
Shout out to you.
Okay, guys. That's unofficial still. All right, that's all I have.
Wonderful. So the plan, I'll just tell you so you can laugh with me, because this
Okay.
is the constant story of the podcast with Thomas and I. Thomas will always ask who the guest is, which when it comes to obviously like setting up equipment, everything like that, the editing, I like doing that. He likes doing it too, but there's a certain way that I want to do that. So
You're
I'm a little
better at it.
I'm a
You
little
like what you
nitpicky
like.
when it comes to that
Yeah.
stuff.
He's nitpicky. Yeah.
However,
what
when
I
it
like.
comes to like the planning and stuff like that, that's still me, because Thomas will be like, "Who are we having as a guest?" I'm like, "I don't know, I haven't thought about it." And he's like, "All right, well, like get to it, because like we got to do that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So
Well, okay, but the thing is, I ask him, and then whenever I throw suggestions, he just like shoots it down. So like, I have to get.
but they're valid shoot downs. They're not like
No, not all of them. Some of them are like meh.
Anyway, for this, what this episode was supposed to be, because I know you probably talk about your children all the time, which you might not mind talking about your kids all the time, but it was supposed to be talking about where you were before and then going into motherhood. But as we can see, that didn't really work out very well, because
It's all right.
my partner's
Well, it was kind of. We talked about the pre-motherhood.
We talked about a portion of pre-motherhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess I'll pivot into my section of it, which is talking more about you being a mom. So are there any, because I don't know this. I don't know if you know this
No,
at all.
probably
Are
not.
there any like stories about your kids' names at all? Like why you picked those names for them?
So, Junie, her real name is Erin, just like her dad.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of Aaron, which is most commonly for men, it's Aaryn. I just thought it was cute. I hadn't seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Really liked it.
Unique.
Plus, I know that I wanted to call her Junie, so I had to kind of like have it make sense, because like how else can you call her Junie unless you name her like
a junior type
June,
thing, yeah.
Juniper kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
she's like a junior, but a girl, so we call her Junie. And then for Austin, there's like no rhyme or reason behind that. I said like from the second I had Junie, I was like, I want to have another girl so I can name her Austin with a Y. And
That's it. You just want
that's
to.
it. That's all.
Well, there's a theme because it seems like.
Yeah, everybody's name starts with A.
Yeah, I was about to say the whole family basically starts with an A. So.
Yeah, and the girls are our little aunts, because their initials are ANT.
Oh, I do. ANT. Oh, yeah. I forgot because what's Junie's middle name?
Noel.
Noel. That's right. Because there's Aaron, Noel, Totten, and Austin.
Noah.
Austin's middle name is Noah as well. Oh, I didn't know
No,
that.
Noah.
Oh, Noah. I thought you said Noah. I was like, okay,
No.
Austin Noah.
Noa.
Noa. Oh, okay. Without the H. There's
Yeah, because she's not a boy.
I've never heard the NOA before. That's cool.
You're welcome.
I think astronaut's still better.
What's funny is because your Instagram handle's like Lex Totten or whatever. I never knew that was your last name for the longest time. I don't know what I thought it was, but like Allie told me that one day. She was like, "Well, Totten's her last name, right?" I was like, "That makes so much sense."
That makes a lot of sense.
So you're talking like the ant thing. I'm like, "Where's the T?" I'm like, "Oh shit, that's your last name."
Yes.
Whoops.
Totten.
That's cool. I didn't know they had Y's in their name though. That's
Yeah.
interesting. But also, as we've talked about, I thought her name was Juniper.
Yeah,
Because that's how
think
I was
we did too.
introduced. Like she said.
Oh yeah, I was too.
She said Juniper, but like, I was like, oh, that's a dope name. Like I don't know many people named Juniper.
Yeah, I know literally one. We have like
That's wild.
an assortment of nicknames for both girls. Like if we were in public, like nobody would know what their names are, because just whatever comes out of my mouth at that time.
Well,
And
yeah, I thought her name was
half the
Junie at
time,
first.
Junie gets called Aaliyah because Aaliyah is always irking my nerves, as is Junie. So yeah.
That's funny.
So kind of going along with help that I just got from our director, but also a question I had. So this could kind of be like a two-part, because I have an older sister who also has two girls as well. So there's
Okay, I knew she had kids. I didn't know she had two girls.
there's a little bit of commonality here that we can kind of talk about. But so what made you what made you want to be a mom in the first place? Like that's a very big and broad question, but I don't know if you had an answer to that question.
Do not show my mother this podcast, because she's not gonna like this answer.
Okay.
Don't tell your mom.
She's a great mom. And everybody talks about their mom. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
And that breaks my heart, because like me and my sister always talk about my mom, like, your mom this, your mom that, and I'm like, my kids are gonna grow up to talk about me.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Like I don't want them to talk about me. I know I'm gonna get on their nerves, but like, shut up. I forgot the question.
What made you want to be a mom?
Oh yes, my mother. I just was not a fan of her parenting style. And I decided at like 7 or 8 years old, I'm having my own fucking baby, and I'm not going to treat my baby like this. So yeah, I don't know. That just kind of drove me. Like everything she did to piss me off, I was like, I'm not going to do that to my kids.
Well, you started mothering pretty early, because from what I've been told by your sister.
I had my first baby in 2002.
I was about to say, yeah. From what I've heard, you've raised Allie. She preaches it all the time.
That is quite literally my child.
Yeah.
The only thing that I did not do is birth her. But I've changed her diapers. I've given her a bath.
Wow.
I pretty much taught her how to drive. I took her to
really?
and from all of her extracurricular activities, dropped her off at school, picked her up in carpool. Like,
Oh my
that is
gosh.
quite literally my child. Fed her. I had to keep snacks in my bag and in my car for her. That is my child.
So you being spoiled's kind of coming to fruition. We're
Oh
learning.
That
my
makes
Gotcha.
sense. That
and
makes
I
so
complain about
much
it
sense.
So bad,
Now
but
it's
like,
making
I am
more
the biggest
sense.
contributor.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
You're semi-spoiled hoodie now. I'm just gonna like itch out the semi and just keep it spoiled on there.
Yeah. That one that she stole from me for a little bit, and then she decided to make her own because I wanted my hoodie back. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Because she bought a cricket. Well, no, I only said that because like she preaches it all the time. As much as like she's spoiled, she especially at the bars. Whenever she's at the bars, and really,
Yeah, let's veer from.
No, but she talks
Again,
about,
Allie's just here. She's
yeah,
not in
but
the
she talks
episode.
about you in like a high manner all the time because she's like, she's my mom. She like basically raised me every single time I talk. Like every time.
Yeah,
she
that video at the bar, you and her, I woke up and I didn't know whether to smile, like laughing, or cry because, wow, that really touched me.
But when I
then,
tell you,
like,
she came over to me, she was like crying. It was like,
All right. I'm
But
trying to look
I
out for
had-
you. Yeah, that's.
But my other sister literally just Christmas Eve, a couple nights ago, she calls me and she was not drunk. Literally starts crying and saying the same things that she's saying, and I'm like, I must actually be a good person. Like,
See?
this kind of feels really good.
so
she was here the other night, right?
Yes.
What's her name again?
Gabrielle, but we call her Gabby.
Okay.
okay.
Nice.
Well, yeah. So you. I'm guessing when you were like thinking about having like Junie and Astro, like you weren't nervous at all about being a mother since you basically were a mother before already.
No, I've always been really good with kids.
Oh, is that why
Like,
you?
always.
Okay, so that makes sense why you went into like daycare and like loved.
Yes, I love kids. Most of them at that daycare. Majority of them.
So did you not want to go back after you had the kids, like to that job?
I did, but I didn't. Like, okay, so like, even though I work at the daycare, like I still have to pay for my kids to attend. And it's
Really?
like, yeah, they give you a discount, but it's not like,
A huge one.
it would be $110 a week per child, so $220 a week, which will be coming out of my paycheck. And then, like, I'm doing all this stuff for everybody else's kids. Depending on the day, I might be there for 8 to 12 hours. Then I have to come home, clean off whatever they took to school because daycares are ridiculously nasty, like just the germs.
Yeah.
Clean all that off. Still have to cook, clean that up, dinner, clean that up, baths, lotion, pajamas, stories.
So it just
all
wasn't
that.
worth it for
No,
what you were
'cause
getting.
It's like
I get
exhausting
that. Yeah.
to do all that at work and then come home and do that as well.
With your own kids, yeah. I get
So what I've learned is I don't know how single moms do it. Shout out to them because I would lose my mind. And I low-key was like a single mom, like with a ring, because Aaron works such late hours. So that was exhausting. I was like, I cannot.
that. Is his
imagine.
hours still late now too?
Yeah, it just
Oh, wow.
depends on the day. Like, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
He goes in at 9. He might get off at 5. He might get off at 7. He might walk in at 11:30. You never know.
Dang, yeah.
If
Okay.
he's selling a car, he's selling a car.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I wanted to go back, but it's like I would be going back and getting negative $100 every paycheck.
Mhm.
I can get a negative $100 sitting right here on this couch with these kids. So why would I go work for that when I could do it at home?
That's fair. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of bring up a funny point because I talk to Allie about this all the time, and it makes me laugh. To her, not so much, but your Instagram stories always make me laugh because it'll be like teeth marks from like Ozzy or something. Like,
Junie.
is it Junie?
Yeah.
Junie's
Oh, I
been
thought it was
doesn't have
Ozzy.
any teeth.
apparently. Yeah.
Austin doesn't have any teeth. Junie just bites just because. So watch out.
She just feels like it. Well, I'll see that. I'll see like just a joke, like hole in the wall or something like or markers somewhere they're not supposed to be, and it's hilarious. And you're just like, these damn kids driving me crazy. And then the next thing will be like a post from somebody else. It's like, don't know where I would be without my little girls and stuff like that. So it's
they
just
drive me
it's so funny to me.
insane. But I love them. Like, when Junie goes to bed, it's my absolute favorite time of the day. Like, I come down here and I'm just like, oh, hallelujah. And then maybe like 20 minutes in, like, I start looking at pictures of her and I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go wake her up.
Well, Thomas tells me too sometimes, or I think you were like around each other when it happened. That like one of them just started like throwing a hissy fit. And you just got like a glass of wine or something. Just sat down.
Again,
It
probably
was
Junie.
yeah, no, it was Astro. Astro was
Oh.
crawling. Remember, it was like
yeah, following me around.
following you around, and you had a drink made, and instead of just because she was like screeching, instead you just went to grab the drink and sat down and started
Yeah.
drinking it.
She's
really
good
funny.
for that. Like she can crawl, she can move around, but like when she can't see me anymore, all hell is breaking loose. She doesn't like that. So she crawls to find me, but while she's trying to find me, she's screaming the entire time. Why? What is your purpose?
That's funny. Because my sister, you can see sometimes. I mean, you don't have to. You can just give me a yay or nay on that one. But like, whenever I've been around my nieces, you can just like tell that they're like driving my sister crazy. Because like, it's kind of that like my dad's talked about it, like when you have kids, you just kind of know like if there's something in public, like start screaming in public, whatever, you're just kind of like, oh, like that's just them having kids and everything. But like if somebody that doesn't have kids, you'll see them in public and you'll just be like, this annoying piece of, and then like you just want to get them out of the
Literally,
store.
I used to feel that way and be like, why are your kids acting like that? But now my kid follows me around Target hollering because I won't let her have something, and I just keep walking like I don't know her. But she's right there behind me. She's following me, so like she's not gonna get kidnapped or anything. But I just keep going, and people are so understanding.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're okay. She is. You're right.
She is. You're right.
I mean, I've started to understand that more because now, like, my nieces are older now. One's 8 and one's 4, I think. So, like, they're kind of at the age now.
glorious.
Oh, I didn't know. Was that
Piper's like a whole adult now.
Piper, I love that name.
Like, yesterday, she got like a sauna kit. She's got like some that like massage your feet, and she had like a mask or whatever.
Christmas.
Oh, it's crazy. And then she had like a gym mat that Santa got for her that she was like going crazy over. So it was really funny.
Dang, they are a whole adult. That's
Piper's
crazy.
literally like 30, like 13 going on 30. I think is like.
So is my toddler.
Really? Is that her G-Wagon?
Yes.
No, what was
Should
funny
be.
to me, it was like the other day. I think it was no, it wasn't the Christmas party. Oh, I FaceTimed Allie yesterday, and she was on the phone, and she was like, the fact that we're reasoning with like how old is Junie? Like
21 months.
yeah, a 21-month-year-old right now is crazy, because she was talking about like Junie's like rationalizing things now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
It's quite ridiculous, actually. And she's very opinionated.
already.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that I'm shocked because I know who her mother is, but I just wasn't expecting it this early.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot.
Talk about opinionated in like what way? Like food right now, or like just anything right now?
Anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang, this early is crazy.
We could be picking out her pants. No, mommy, no. Okay, but these other ones you want to wear don't match. No. Okay, you don't have to match today. I'm not gonna fight with
Well, I never match. Allie picks on me all the time.
But my family will get on me because they'll be like, you need to get her. She can't have what she wants. Pick and choose your battles. I'm not going to argue with her over licking the ketchup off her plate. She's eating. There's her nutrition. I don't know what you want me to do.
Junie was going through a phase of just like licking things, wasn't she? Because I remember like on your Instagram story, wasn't she like licking your elbow or something?
Yes. It's quite common for kids. Like they don't just, everything is like, you have to think of it like this. Like we see like this little baby car or whatever. We've seen these a million times.
Yeah.
To her, like it's something new every time.
Oh, so they have to go through all the senses
Yeah.
to like understand that?
Yeah. And everything goes in the mouth. Probably until like 2.5.
So you're saying Asher's going to go through that at some point?
She is already there.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
that's like all she knows. Like she sees something and she's immediately like, not like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, no, straight to the mouth. That's how babies are. It could literally be a pile of dog shit. Wow, straight to the mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't know any better.
what a
That's
lovely
disgusting.
visual.
Well, but the thing is, the elbow is crazy because you've seen elbows at that point. That's
But
what
like,
confuses me.
as you know, you gotta take it back there. Like a
Mhm.
1-year-old, yeah, I see it, but like
Oh,
I'm
it
not
doesn't
paying
register.
any attention to it. Like,
Oh, okay.
I
That
have
makes
no
more
idea
sense.
what this is.
That
What
makes
does it
more
taste like? Why does it look like that? Like that's how our brain works.
Yikes.
Why does that look like that? That's crazy.
Well, kind of going off that same question about why did you want to have kids? What made you want to have kids? Because when did you have Junie? How old were you?
25.
Because you're 27 now? 26?
I'm 27.
Okay. So what made you want to have kids at 25?
Again, I was ready to have my own baby at 7, but I knew that wasn't realistic.
Probably not, yeah.
It wasn't really a matter of age for me. It was always for me personally, because don't attack me or I will attack your ass back. I wanted to be married first because I value myself. Again, this is me, so I don't want to hear anything, but I knew that I didn't want to be anybody's baby mother, so
Understandable.
yeah.
Well, we kind of go back and forth. I mean, we've had that conversation, like, I think plenty of times.
Yeah, similar one on the way here too.
About what? Like having kids?
Well, just the relationship and kids in general, yeah.
Well, at least the conversation, like when to have them, I think.
I feel like, okay, so you're going to hear a lot like, oh, I'm not ready, it's not the right time. Honestly, if you look at it from that perspective, like, you're never going to have any. Like, you just kind of have to jump in the deep end.
Well, because we know...
Unless you're broke. Don't do it.
Well,
it's not
yeah.
fair to the kid.
Yeah. That's true.
No G-Wagon for you. No, it's because we know a lot of people. I wouldn't say a lot of people, but like we've seen a decent amount of people. That's what we were talking about. Kind of recently that we like graduated with who are like our age, like 21, 22, who are like having kids, which to me like seems a little too early, at least for me, because we're still not like in our career really. We're kind of borderline on that broke, what you're talking about.
So I agree with you, and don't take this the wrong way. Are most of these people white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have also noticed that pattern with like people my age group. Like, I don't know what it is, what the excitement is, what the rush is, but like me at 21, married and with a kid, absolutely not. I was not that person back then. I was not ready for that. Now, I was dating Aaron. I was like in a committed relationship, but no. I mean, I could have been married. Honestly, I feel like marriage is the exact same. Like, if you have like a long-term partner, the literal only difference is a piece of paper. So I do see why people say like, why would I get married? It's just a piece of paper. But like, the relationship is the exact same. So I could have been married at 21, but a kid, absolutely not.
Well, that I've been seeing a lot more of that though too. Like which there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, like people have their own values about stuff.
For sure.
But like a lot of them aren't married. Like they have the kid, or then like they will get married.
Yeah, get
kind of like soon after like they announce the pregnancy. But for me, like
to me, that's ghetto as fuck. I won't. No, because like then, and again, you shouldn't really care what people think, but like people would think like, oh, they only got married because you had a baby and like stuff like that. And I don't know. That's another thing, like black and white, like it's a huge like stigma in the black community, and I just was not going to be perceived that way because I will hit somebody.
I mean, I tend to fall like in line with that. Like I'd probably want to be married first. I'd want to be like in some sort of on track to be, or in already like an established career, so that I know, because like you're not wrong. In some sense I feel like that's not like fair to the kid, because I would want to like spoil the kid to a certain extent, and if I'm giving him like a trash bag to play with or something, that's
crazy.
Probably not
Not
the best.
That's a safety hazard.
Yeah,
Suffocation.
Sorry, I didn't mean trash bag, but yeah, no, I think like 22 right now. I haven't, because like talk about that a little bit, because that's not on my notes. But like, was baby fever like a huge thing, kind of like when you were in that like college area or like high school? Because right now, like I know like hella girls my age that are like, I want a kid so bad, and I'm like,
so I do know like women in general, that's usually their thing. I don't really know like a specific like age range for that, and again, I think it's because like I've always wanted kids. So I've always had baby fever. It didn't matter whose baby it was. We could be walking through Target and I'd be like, oh my God, do you see that baby? It was going to do it for me every time. But baby fever is real. I don't know. Some people have the mindset like they just want to do it while they're young, get it over with. And I do like see it a little bit from that point. But for me personally, I don't know. I feel like I started at a great time for me. Any earlier, definitely not. I could have waited a little bit too, but definitely not any sooner than I did.
Was Aaron just as excited to like have a baby as much as you did?
Yeah, I kind of like, I asked him, I don't know, started dating in 2016. I probably started asking him like, are you ready to start trying for a baby? I don't know, two years in.
Oh my gosh.
I was serious, but I wasn't serious. Like I was still on birth control. Like I
A
just
joke,
kind of
but
was,
like you mean it.
yeah, I was seeing like where his head was at. Like, okay, how is this going?
How did he react after 2 years? Did he say like?
He kind of like always gave me the same answer. Like, I definitely want to have kids with you, but like not yet. We're not doing this yet.
I just imagine y'all like at a restaurant. It's like, you know what? Go with this burger. A child. Like what?
No, literally.
What?
I always tried to like slide it in.
It's
there.
little like subtle.
You know what good? This would be a good combination with the Carolina Ale House pizza. A baby.
No,
No.
please don't take your kids to. Not that you need me to tell you that, but
Right.
I think it'd be a great place.
Because I've talked to my sister about this, and again, another thing that we've talked to, but it's always good talking to like mothers about this kind of stuff. Is like having kids earlier on, like when you're 25, or if you're later, because like my uncle had his kid when they were like mid-30s, I think, maybe like
I feel
late
like
30s.
that's for me like the latest because I do want one more. I think.
I was gonna get to that, so you do want another
Aaron
kid.
does not. But give it a few years. He might change his mind. Because I don't want one right now.
Yeah.
Like, but I do feel like mid-30s is like, if I get to 35 and I don't have another one yet, that's it for me. Hell no.
Well, you still got a good like
10 years.
time frame, yeah.
You cannot count.
It's like 8.
What do you mean? I say 10. She's 25 in my head.
Period.
Yeah, you redeemed yourself. Good job.
I don't think
He
there's
took back his
anything-
math incompetence. He's like, but you're a great mom. Sick.
We really appreciate that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You're should be at that age more established. Like, I think it's a good idea, but I personally wouldn't go past that because like I want to have like as much like longevity with them. I want to play with them. I don't want to be 65 when they graduate.
See, that's why I think the conversation comes up, because when you're like in your 30s, 35, something like that, you're more, I think, established, or like you said, should be established, maybe like financially or like kind of where you are in life. But when your kids are like in their 20s, you're in your like 50s, 60s, as opposed to like if you have them younger, then you can still be in your like 40s or something.
Yeah, I had a friend, her parents, she's the same age as me. Her parents are like late 60s, early 70s, and I just can't imagine because like I feel like I would be rushing to try to have grandkids or like whatever because I want them to spend time with my kids as well. Mm-hmm. But like you don't know how much time you have left at that point. Like they could live to be 102 or they could die the next year. Like, I mean, and that could happen now. Like they don't have to be old to die, but I don't want that.
I mean, that's how my uncle is. My uncle had my little cousin at 35, 36, and he's like 40.
I thought he was like 40 when he had, or when they had Sophia.
It was when I was in high school. He was like 30. Oh, maybe. No, he was close to 38 at the time. Oh, yeah. So he's like 40. You're right. He's like 40 something now.
Do you have any numbers
30s.
games for the kids upstairs that maybe before you leave, Thomas?
I actually do.
Why do you think I was playing with them the other day?
Oh my God.
What does it mean?
How was that?
My sister,
What? I
her
don't know.
dad was 36 when he had her.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what? What was she showing me?
Christopher was 36 when he had Allie.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for throwing
That's
that in
not
there.
terrible.
36 is not that bad.
Yeah, because my uncle was 38 when he had Sophia.
He's still.
The fa-
like,
I wish
it's not
y'all
like
could
you
see
want
the
to take
face
him outside
eyes.
and play with him right now. Like he was good. He used to do cartwheels and stuff with us in the yard. Like
Oh, he did? That's
yeah,
cool.
he did.
That's cool. I can't see him.
He
I
can't do
see
it
him
now
do
because he had a hip replacement.
I was
but,
going to say it because of his hip.
let me tell you, he used to bust that thing. He was proud of that.
I would pay to see Christopher do that now.
That's funny.
Me too.
You might have to
Me.
pay to see Christopher do
Yeah,
that.
literally, those hospital bills.
That's funny.
I pay for that.
And that's gonna be not some 20 to do a cartwheel, bro.
That's my Christmas allowance right there that I just got.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so kind of transitioning a little bit. So what's now this is gonna be harder to answer. It might be a little bit more thought provoking. So what has been, if at all, and that if at all goes for both of these, what's been the most like challenging part of being a mom? Other than like being bitten every so often.
She's only bitten me twice.
Never
Today?
No, never.
In the past hour.
You
Yeah.
meant
Never.
today. I was like, what?
It's a few things.
Okay.
It was really hard at first when I first had Austin, and Junie like is still a baby herself. Like she had just turned 2 months before that. So that was really challenging. I feel like now we're in like a really good groove. Like she kind of understands like, okay, I need to take a second. Clearly mom is doing something with the baby, so I need to wait my turn. She's still not the best at it, but she's way better at it than when I first had Austin. Potty training whooped my ass, but it's done.
Yeah, I noticed when I went to the bathroom. It was there.
Oh, sorry.
That's
You
okay.
just take it off the
Yeah,
toilet.
I took it off.
Oh, I was like, what?
There's a
You
little
thought I got potty
seat.
trained in there?
Potty seat up there. Also, the kids themselves like really aren't bad, so it's not really too much them. I think the most difficult part is like accepting like the compliments I get as like, oh, you're such a good mom, like, because I really do try my best to be, but like I feel like, I don't know, people are saying it to be nice. I don't look, I'm working on accepting the compliments.
No, it's hard. I get that,
understand
yeah.
And just like being in my own head about like what I need to do for them to be successful, and like how do you navigate that? Because like I've never done this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Aaliyah was my kid, but I didn't have to do any of like the hard stuff.
financial
Like
stuff and everything.
if you
yeah.
think about it, I was like the fun parent.
Yeah.
So
I get that. Yeah, that
like
makes
that
sense.
stress and anxiety, that's the difficult part. And always like when they go with other people, like I'm wondering like, are they strapped in their car seats properly? Like, are they feeding them what I asked them to? Like, that's the most difficult part, like letting go of the control.
Mm-hmm. Well, does patience play? Because we've talked about like you've kind of done that with Allie for a while, but like I'm not a very patient individual, which is also why
I'm
like
working on it.
having kids right now for me would be horrible, because I would just be like, please let me sleep or something like that. So for me that would be a struggle. I don't know if that was like big for you.
So my mother has zero patience. I remember growing up, like she would always, before I like really understood the definition of patience, she would always say, my patience is wearing thin. I'm like a flower and you just keep plucking my petals.
That's something she would say. I could definitely see that.
I literally like vividly remember her saying this to me daily.
Did she ever say that to you, Allie? I feel like she. Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I am working on it because I myself am not a very patient individual, but she, our director over there behind the scenes, kind of taught me how to be, because I spent so much time with her. Like we are very similar but very different. She does things much differently than I do, and that really irks my soul. But I had to learn that it's not going to kill me if she does it in 3 steps and I do it in 1. Like it's as long as it gets done.
Yeah.
So that she helped me a lot. Again, still learning, because I do yell at my kid sometimes and then I feel bad and I have to apologize to her. She has no clue what's going on, but I do feel as though I have to apologize for her, like when I yell at her or Yeah, I don't really pop her that much. I try not to, but she's really trying me. I might have to start.
Well, it's funny because you two aren't patient, but I feel like I'm a pretty patient person. Because like a good example is when I was helping y'all move in, y'all were just like doing your own thing. So I was just kind of like playing around with Junie and just being patient. And she kind of just
saved
like
the day.
I didn't do much. All I did was just be myself.
You kept her entertained so we could get stuff done.
See, the thing is, the way I kept her entertained was I kept myself entertained. So like if I was entertained, she's entertained. I think it's just because two minds that are similar just work together well.
Stop talking. You comparing yourself to a 1-year-old.
Hey, I get entertained pretty easily. Like those gummy bears, I was munching on them earlier.
Well, I think Thomas doesn't have a very hard time. I don't know if you feel the same way, but Thomas doesn't have a very hard time just being like, I'm just gonna like shut my brain off and just kind of like not have fun, but like, you know what I'm saying? Where you just kind of like, you just don't think about anything. I think I low-key have like OCD or something because I'm just always like,
Paul,
without
knowing it,
same person?
like micromanaging stuff. So like,
But-
I can have fun, but it's a very like calculated fun. That sounds really bad and weird.
Are we
but
the same person?
maybe.
What?
Have you? I feel like Allie's been saying that subtly, like.
Wow.
Like she'll talk about stuff that you do or something, like, hey, I do the same thing. That's crazy. So.
Wow, what a great person.
Damn,
you are.
25. Got to have kids now, I guess, is what that
No,
means.
You gotta find a lover.
The clock's ticking.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so instead of a challenge, then what's been like the most rewarding part of it then?
Potty training Junie. Yeah.
Potty training Junie was
Would you
the
say
most.
that's your
Yeah.
greatest achievement?
Yeah.
Really?
I never thought I would see the day. Like I was.
I don't know how
really
hard
ready
it is to
give
potty train. Honestly.
Well, like for you as a person, not just like
It's exhausting. But
also.
like, knowing that like I did that. Also, Junie is super smart. I work with her on a lot of things like body parts, alphabet, numbers, all types of things, and it is super rewarding. Like when we're out somewhere and she sees like a letter or number that she recognizes, which is huge because most kids her age don't have the ability to do that. Like they might be able to like repeat your ABCs to you, but they can't tell you like what
What
A
that
looks
is.
like or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So it like gives me the biggest feeling of accomplishment when we're out somewhere and she points it out or she says something and people are like, how does she know that? I taught it to her. That's how. Thank you.
that is probably really, what's the word? Satisfying. That's
Like just seeing her like as she gets older learn more stuff. Like it's crazy. Also, she can pretty much recite the full Trolls movie to you. So
My nieces
I-
love Trolls.
I
That's
thought she
hilarious.
could recite Sing, if anything.
she doesn't care about that anymore.
Really?
No.
I know she was really big
Sing
into
too.
Yeah, Sing too. She was
Yeah.
really big on that because Allie was big on that and she kept showing me scenes
She
about
would
it.
do both. She would go back and forth between Sing 2 and Trolls, but now she's like Trolls only.
Wow.
Trolls
okay.
and Elmo or Sesame Street.
Well, that's interesting because like seeing your parenting style versus like my cousin's parenting style, like my uncle and my aunt, like most of the time they just give her an iPad and just let her watch Cocomelon the whole time. I know it's a terrible thing, but like, and I hate it too because I hear Cocomelon every single time I walk downstairs.
Yeah, you guys know that like TikTok, it's like play your kid this sound. I bet you they come running like the Cocomelon sound.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could play that and Jenny would be clueless.
That's
that
a good
is
thing though.
The devil. I do not play that show in this household. She has no idea what it is. Somebody gave her a Cocomelon toy for Christmas.
She didn't know what it
It's
was.
going to Goodwill. I do not need that negativity in my house. No, thank you.
Well, see, like the thing from what I've seen with my cousin is that she like knows a lot. Like she recognizes like letters, colors, numbers really well. I don't think that's just from Cocomelon. It's probably from other things as
No,
well.
because they don't do that. All they do is sing on Cocomelon.
Okay, then it's probably not Cocomelon because I know there's a lot of things I was playing that I thought it was Cocomelon, but it was like a lot of like educational like.
Oh yeah, that's
TV.
definitely not Cocomelon.
Okay, then it probably wasn't, but I definitely have heard Cocomelon at like some point before because they would like sing about birds and animals and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
they sing like random. They take like what do you call them? Nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
And just sing about random stuff like eating your vegetables, brushing
Yeah.
your teeth.
Mhm.
But it's like very repetitive. But doctors say that show is like highly overstimulating and it can cause a ton of behavioral issues. My kid needs no help with that. So I do not play that.
That kind of makes sense because my cousin is low-key psycho because yesterday I was laying in bed and she just crawled into bed and smacked her head next to mine and put the iPad in front of us. And she was like, I want to play this game. And I was like, can you not see I was about to go to bed?
They do not care.
Yeah, she did not care. Granted,
Absolutely
my kid's like 4 or 5 now, though. That's the thing.
It's probably pretty normal.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if that was or not because I don't remember being 4 or 5 like that. Granted, I also don't remember being 4 or 5, so.
I don't think you would.
Well, in a way, that kind of transitions into the next thing. So I was going to ask, because I actually was talking to my parents and grandparents about this last night. So how would you compare, like, the way that you were parented and or maybe not parented, going off of maybe some stuff that we've talked about, and then, like, the way that you are parenting your children? Because I've even noticed, I mean, I'm only 22, but I've, like, my uncle and his wife with their kid and, like, some other people with their children, like, the, like, technology is completely different, like, the way that they're taught things is completely different. So, like, how would you compare that?
So I will say that my mom is not very emotionally intelligent, I think is the word. Like, she didn't care that you were crying. She didn't care why you were upset. It was just kind of like the typical stop crying before I give you something to cry about.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Sounds like my
never
mom.
say that to my children because it's okay to cry. Like, if you're angry, if you're upset, I feel as though you should release your feelings. Like, why hold it in? Like, what is me saying that to you? Because I don't want to hear you cry. Well, I shouldn't have had kids.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to do. So that's something that she did that I will not be doing. She did kind of make it so, like, we could come talk to her about anything. She is a little bit judgmental, so I don't know if you would go and tell her all of your business, but, like, I did appreciate, like, her trying to create an open door kind of thing for us. So that's something that I will be doing. I don't know.
What do you think about, like, because part of the conversation we were having last night was kind of what Tom was just talking about, like, kids now, like, just technology is such a big part of maybe not like learning, but just kind of they need that stimulation. Because, like, the joke between us, like, as guys in society today is just, like, when we eat, we just need to be watching something.
Yeah.
Or, like, we're not going to eat until we find, like, the perfect video to watch.
Oh, that's me. I watch TV all day.
Yeah.
Same, we're not alone. But I think for, like, kids too, like, as soon as you want them to just, like, shut up or stop crying or whatever, you just throw, like, an iPad in front of them or something, which I don't think that existed really, like, when, like, obviously when my parents were growing up, but even really when I was growing up, like, I mean, maybe the TV would get turned on or something, but it was more just kind of like there was a different way of handling that. So
I am definitely guilty of that. I don't do it often, but, like, more so for, like, in a restaurant somewhere and she's losing her shit, I'm turning on Miss Rachel, or I'm putting on whatever show, like, I know that's going to keep her quiet. But as far as, like, being in the house, no. Girl, there are 1,000,005 toys in here. There's 1,000,005 books in here. Like, something can keep your attention. Find it. Get it. But I don't, like, limit her screen time or anything. Like, if she tells me she wants to watch something on TV, I'm going to play it. Unless she's acting like a brat, then I'm not going to do that. But, like, when she goes down for a nap or bed, she does have a TV in her room, but I don't turn it on for that. Like, it's strictly her, the walls, and the Lord. Like, that's all you got.
The Lord.
That's all you got, girl. But I feel like I'm still trying to find, like, a balance. So for Christmas, I focused on, like, a lot of toys that are more, like, sensory, that'll, like, keep her entertained, where she doesn't feel as though she needs to have the TV.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So something to keep her occupied, like, in all senses.
Yeah, I got this thing. It's called a Tony's box. I'll show it to you guys. And it can, like, grow with the kid. So whatever they're interested in, they have, like, little characters. Like, So some of the ones she has are like some Disney princesses. She got Elmo, Cookie Monster, Poppy from Trolls, and you sit it on top of the box, and like each character comes with like a track list of different songs they sing, and then they also tell story. So like that's something that can keep her entertained for
That's
hours
cool.
with
Yeah.
no screen time. So like as she grows, I can just buy whatever character she's into at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool.
That is cool.
Have you noticed anything with that? Like, because part of, like, an example, I guess, of what I was talking about was, like, Piper now, maybe, because she's 8 years old, she might get, like, a Kindle or, like, an iPad or something like that. When I was 8, I had, like, Lego Fireman or something like that. Like, it was
That's
completely
crazy.
different.
I got my first phone when I was 8.
Really? Your first phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't get mine until I was, like, 13 or
I didn't.
something.
Yeah,
like
I didn't get
that.
mine until
Aaliyah
14.
also got hers at 8.
We're not. We've established
Well,
she
she's
probably got
different.
one at like 4 that we didn't know about. But.
Honestly, yes, she was an iPad kid.
Oh yeah, she talks about it all the time. That's why she has an iPad now.
Yeah.
Well, so like,
Um,
it's weird you say that because like my cousin, seeing her now, she's an iPad kid, like 100% iPad kid. Like she uses it all the time. She carries that thing pretty much for the most part. But like she gets more excited about like actual physical toys because like yesterday or 2 days ago, because we opened Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve for some reason, which like I don't mind because Christmas Day can just be a relaxing day. But when we were opening gifts, none of it was electronic. It was just like all like physical toys. Like the only electronic thing that she got was actually from me. It was just like an electronic piano that she can play on. But even then, that was just like still a physical item she can play with. And she was like way more excited about that than like her iPad. She uses her iPad now, but like it's honestly just like at least her parents restrict the games on her iPad so she can only download educational games.
yeah.
So like all the games that she was playing, like even when she bumped her head in mine and sat next to me in bed, they were all educational videos. They're like, hey, let's play this like verb game, and I'm like, how do you know what a verb is already?
That's really good though.
Yeah.
Like preparing her early. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
she'll be
she's
ahead when
very
she
very
goes to
smart.
school.
She's very very smart.
Junie has one educational game. I mean, it's can't really do much because again, she is 21 months old.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can learn a little bit, but like it's not doing much for
See,
you.
the one thing that I learned from Junie that I actually don't see often, we talked about it like probably a year ago, was that she learned sign language first before anything, right? Because she learned how to like say, I think
Yes.
this is like more, no, this is
Yep.
like full, right?
That's
This is
more.
more, yeah, this is more.
This is all done. But
Yeah,
with
all
both
done.
hands.
And then she says like full or something like
This
that.
is please.
Oh, please, yeah. I don't remember, I don't know that all of
My
that.
sister did the same thing.
Did
Like,
she really?
I don't know if I didn't see as much in Penelope, but Piper used to always like whenever she would finish her food.
That before
No.
I ever had kids, I wanted to name. If I had a daughter, I wanted to name her Penelope Jade so that we could call her PJ.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
that's
But I
cute.
had a friend, and I told her that, and then her sister-in-law named her daughter Penelope. So I
Oh,
threw that
that's
shit out
lame.
the window.
Well, you know what's funny is before I could see like, Piper. I always wanted to call like Pip for short, but that just never stuck. And then
Aaliyah has some nicknames for my kids that never stuck, and they never will.
What, like what?
First of all, we need to let Junith. We need to let that go.
Junith?
I keep telling you, that is horrible.
Junith?
We are
Yikes.
not in the 1800s.
That gives me PTSD, like Judith.
She wanted to call her Ren. Hated
Ren?
it. That is
Ren.
so not fetch. No.
Not fetch. I got that reference.
Mean
Hey.
Girls.
I just watched that recently.
I don't get
Come
it.
on, Thomas.
What is it?
Mean Girls?
Thomas doesn't gruel like that.
I don't watch movies. that
Okay,
often.
Aaliyah Ward Jr.
Facts, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
The worst.
I just, yeah. I don't watch
And then for Penelope, I wanted to be Penny, but that didn't stick either. So,
Penny's cute.
well, it might be like maybe when she's older, but like now we
Same
all
with
just say
Astro.
like, oh, Penelope, but like if I say like Penny, come here, she can be like,
Who's that?
Yeah, who's-
We had a baby at my job. Her name was Penny. Like, not Penelope, just Penny.
Like PENNY?
Yeah. We called her Pennifer, Penop,
Pennifer?
Pennifer,
So
or
funny.
Benjamin, depending on how she was acting.
Benjamin.
Yes. She was super sweet, though.
well, that's why I like Austin's because, like I said, like Astro's a different thing. Well,
I love Astro.
well, Allie
That's-
introduced me to
that's enough.
Oswald, and that makes me laugh every time.
Oswald is funny. I will say that's pretty good. That's
that
a
one
good one.
does make me chuckle a little. Not gonna lie.
I just call her Astro because that's the name that's still in my head. Because she asked, "Do you have a and N name?" I said, "Astronaut," and that's just perfect in my
I
head.
wanted to hang up the phone.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You laughed instead and said, "I'll consider it," and you actually didn't
I
consider
don't
it.
think I said that.
Sounds like it wasn't considered very long.
You said you consider it, but then you hung up and didn't consider it.
Your director is saying that you need to move to the next topic.
Well, in continuation, I think Piper used sign language. I didn't see it as much in Penelope, but it was always so funny. Like she would finish and then just go like this. My mom
Yeah,
would be like,
because like how else can they communicate with you without you screaming to the top of their lungs? So I tried to like alleviate that.
Well, how did you go about that? Did you like just teach her what it was, or like?
Yeah, you just have to like keep doing it repetitively, and eventually they start doing it with you. It is pretty tiring because you're like doing it by yourself for maybe like a month or two.
So when did you teach it to Junie?
I started probably when she was like 6 months.
So you're about to do that with Astro as well?
Yeah, I've just recently started because she also just recently started eating.
Oh,
so-
okay, that makes sense. I think that is smart because, like, you're right. We don't really know what kids want until because they can't really communicate that well still. So
Right. Like,
using
it's
that,
not like they can open their mouths and be like, "I'm finished with this."
Yeah, that's so smart. I'm gonna do that with my kids. We'll have to learn sign language first.
Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel,
honestly, like I wouldn't mind learning sign language now because I think it's actually really
I always
cool.
wanted to.
Because now I don't know if you've seen it. If you pay attention to football, though, do you watch football? Like,
It comes on the
Aaron
TV.
watches football.
well, there's there's a player named DK Metcalf. Do you know him?
Nope.
Okay, well there's a receiver for the Seahawks who he like took ASL in high school, and now kind of as a joke, I think it's really interesting, but because they've upped like penalties in football now, where like if like for taunting you'll get in trouble if you just like point at a guy. If you it's like in basketball, if you like crossed him up and you point at him, you'll get like a tech. But in football they do the same thing. So he learned ASL to like talk trash, but the refs don't know like what he's saying. So like after he scored over like one of the corners, he like called him his son and like ASL or something. And then he scored a touchdown like last week or 2 weeks ago, and he said that he was like standing on business or something when he scored. It was pretty cool. So it honestly like it made me kind of want to learn it a little bit because then he said
you can know when he's talking shit.
well, he said he has like weekly meetings with like an ASL teacher, and then he invited him to the game to meet him for the first time like last
really?
week
That's
or
pretty
something.
cool.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, like our friend Maria, she does a lot of like ASL stuff.
Well, that's because of her sorority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's really cool, like just kind of being able to like communicate that
Well,
way.
I was like considering and taking that class because I'm looking for classes at CPCC right now for it so I can finish. And ASO was offered, and I was like, "Can I take this?" I was wondering. I still haven't finished looking into that all the way, but I was thinking about taking
Get
that
on
class.
it.
Yeah, I will.
Well, the other really cool one I saw recently, I don't know if you've seen this, but there was like a Santa at like the mall or whatever. And this little girl like came up to him, and her mom said that she was deaf, and Santa just started like signing, like he just knew how to
See,
communicate
I love
with her.
that, because you never know like what type of child is gonna come up to you.
Yeah.
It's
So
not, like,
he was like, "Does she
required,
know
but-
like animals or something?" And he did like a giraffe, and she just started smiling, like doing the giraffe with him and everything.
Yeah, I got the basics. Like I can tell you I'm hungry or thirsty, all the stuff I taught Junie. I know colors, and that's about it.
That's cool.
We all need to get on that. Some
Yeah.
ASL training. Allie, is there any topic that you feel the fans should know? You can speak your mind so we could start talking about it. Or Thomas. I'm not gonna ask.
I got it.
Well, I covered like some of that stuff.
I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
I just didn't know if there was anything like in particular that you think would be kind of like cool or interesting to talk about.
Did I?
Well, what was it?
Oh. Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh,
If you want, you don't have to.
Or is that what you meant by that last text message? Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
So, Aaliyah and I do not have the same biological father, but
I do forget that sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Aaliyah's dad, Christopher, started dating my mom when I was 13 months old. So to me, that is my father. Like, he's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
He has always been there. Like, I don't know. I literally do not tolerate Chris Ward slander. Like, if anybody has something negative
That's
to
what
say,
she says. Yeah.
I will run them over. Like, that's a charge I'm willing to take. From anybody. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But my biological father, his name is Dwight. We had like a very rocky relationship with me growing up. Him and my mom broke up sometime before she met Chris, and I don't know when he stopped being a dad really, but I know he got remarried the same year that my mom did. So my mom got married in March of 99, and he got married in like October or November of 99.
Okay.
She had a daughter already, his wife. Her name is Chanel, so she's a year younger than me. And then they had my sister Gabby. She is a year older than Aaliyah.
So your sister Gabby is related to you through
Dwight.
Okay.
Yes. So like growing up, he would like call me and say like, I'm gonna come get you after school tomorrow or whatever, and I'd be talking about it to all my friends. Like, I would get home and just be waiting. Like, we had our stairs were like directly in front of the front door, and it had like a screen door. So when I got home, like, throw all my stuff down, got a snack or whatever, and I would just sit on the stairs staring out the screen door until my mom got home. Like, he said he was gonna come get me, like, and he never did. Like, this sounds so awful to say, but like the typical black kid story, like, you don't have no daddy. I can laugh about it now because I'm healed.
It's okay. I didn't have a daddy either, so don't feel bad.
But yeah, he just like, he was never consistent. Like, and I would call him and he would never answer. Like, I used to have to call him from private. Like, did you guys ever do that, like, for fun? Like, what was it, star 6
Yeah, I
star
actually
6
did do that.
whatever?
Yeah. I did do that.
Just like prank calling people.
Yeah, I did do that.
I prank called the cops one time, but the
you're
prank was on me.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
'Cause I-
you both. I did the same thing.
Because I got my butt beat. My dad.
Oh, my
the
mom,
same
my
thing.
uncle beat my butt.
Well, because
beat my
I didn't
ass.
know. I was like 6 or 7. I didn't know like when you call them and you hang up, it still like
Yeah.
goes
Yeah,
to
I
their
didn't
like
know that
operations
either.
center.
Yeah, I did the same
So
thing.
I called twice and I was like, I'm so funny. And then like the cop,
Showed up.
like showed up to our house, and I remember I was like looking down, like through the stairs, and the cop was like, yeah, somebody called, and my dad just like looked upstairs, and he was like, no, there's nothing wrong. As soon as he left, so
That was me because this is when I was living in Texas. So when I lived in Texas, I called
Texas.
I was born in Texas and then raised in Raleigh.
pretty cool. I love
But I
Texas.
was like 4 or 5. I was with my friends and I had
Just
like,
bad.
huh?
Just bad.
Yeah, I just called the cops and I was like, all right, I did the same thing. I hung up, right? And then like maybe 15 minutes later, there's like a knock on our door. There's two police officers. We had a screen door, so they just opened the front door and then they're standing behind the screen. I'm looking around the corner and my eyes dropped and I was like, I'm about to get my ass beat, like 100%. So then the friends that I had over with like with my family's friends, they just like kicked him out so they can beat my ass in private.
Oh no.
That was
My mom
bad.
never believed in the in private thing. If you were getting your ass beat, it didn't matter who was there. You can go back to playing after. You're gonna be a little snot nosed, but it's all right. So yeah, we never like had a consistent relationship, and then my 18th birthday was Father's Day.
Wow.
Like every few years, my birthday falls on Father's Day, unfortunately. And he called and woke me up that morning and was like, do you have something you want to say to me? And I was like, what? Like, I barely know what time it is. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's Father's Day. And I was like, happy Father's Day? Like, hung up and went back to sleep. I got up. Aaliyah, Junie's awake. I got up and I realized like what had happened, and I was like, My freaking birthday. Like, what do you mean? Do I
Yeah.
have something to say to you? So that pissed me off. And I just used to let like any little thing about him piss me off because I don't know. Like I guess I was mad at him for my childhood, like you not being there. Like
yeah, you kind of
I'm
like had a
your-
vendetta against him, kind of.
I'm like your firstborn, and you do nothing, care nothing about me, but yet like you're raising someone else's daughter, and then you had another daughter, and you guys are like playing house, big happy family. Like, hello. So that really hurt my feelings. I grew up like really angry about it, and then I don't know. I probably got like 18, 19, and I just was like, I just really don't care. And I feel like that's a dangerous place to be with me because like if you know me, like I'm a super nice person, like I'm gonna talk shit to you, but like I'm a nice person. Like I would give you the shirt off my back. So like I feel like for you to push me to that limit, like you've really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I just like I wasn't talking to him. Like he would call and text me and I just wouldn't respond. But before I got married, I don't remember how we like rekindled, started talking again. But I like battled with it. Like, do I let him walk me down the aisle? Like, I don't know. So I had, if you look at that picture over there, both of them, actually I can pull it up on my phone. I had both of them walk me down the aisle.
Wow.
But shortly after that, he pissed me off again. He's always chosen women over me, I feel like.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's just him. He doesn't know how to be alone. He's had so many girlfriends, like I cannot even count. But
He sounds like just like my dad, because that's how my dad is too. Because I can relate to that, because I had a vendetta against my dad for a while too.
Oh, that is a horrible photo. Yeah, that's how he was. But
So he
I
hasn't
got
come up like recently or anything?
pregnant with Junie, and I think that's when I was like officially cut him off. I was like, I don't need this in my life. Like, and I'm too old for you to come around trying to be a dad now. So I just wasn't talking to him. But something told me to like give him another try, because I was like, okay, maybe he wants to be there for my kids. He's the bald one, the taller bald one.
Yeah, I recognize that face.
Yeah, it looks like mine, unfortunately.
Oh wow.
So he brought one of his women to my house for June to like meet the baby or whatever. And it was just very like awkward, very no. So I cut him off again because I was like, I don't need this. Like I shouldn't feel like anxious or like uncomfortable in my house.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just like, I don't need this. But this time around, my sister Gabby was over here, and I don't know if it was the tequila or I don't know if I had like an epiphany or what, but like we were day drinking and somehow we started talking about him, and I just was like, call him. And so we called him and he answered the phone, like because we called him from my phone, we FaceTimed. When he saw that, I guess that it was my number, like you could tell he stopped whatever he was doing. Like he looked so disheveled, like to answer. He was like, it's so nice to hear from you. And I was like, okay,
cool. Yeah, I guess.
Hey. So that's when we started talking again. It's probably been about, I was living here, so no more than 6 months now.
Okay.
There's my oldest gremlin.
Junie.
Hi, Junie Mama.
What's up, kiddo?
Oh.
Oh.
The eye roll for me, honey.
So
yeah,
he's the one that got that then?
Yeah, he got that for the girls. And he also got Junie an iPhone 6S so that she could play her music in there. I'm giving it back because she can't read. What is she going to do? Pick the faces of album covers? Like,
I was going to say.
And then that would
say
require
6S.
me to teach her how to use a phone.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So she can start taking mine.
A little young. Maybe.
That's crazy. I was about to say.
Well,
Did he send that, or like did he come here?
He brought it here yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He came over for dinner.
Oh wow.
So he's back. He's involved.
Okay.
So far, so good. I don't know, but I don't have any expectations because
Okay.
you've let me down my whole life.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't. But I think that's why I cut him off the first time, when after Junie was born, because he wasn't consistent, and I refused to allow him to be inconsistent with my kids how he
that
was
makes
with
sense.
me.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
they will not get attached to you and then you just dip.
Dips. Yeah.
No, because I will have to run you over.
That's
Absolutely.
fair.
Now you can see.
Yeah, that, with the G wagon. Yeah.
Forget that with that
The
CRV.
CRV.
hmm
See,
That's funny.
I can understand that because my father is the same way. Like he has remarried after my
Multiple.
mom. Yeah, after
Yeah.
my mom, it was 4 other times after that.
So before he was dating my mother, he's older than my mom. He's in his 60s right now. I can't tell you how old he is because I don't really know him that well. He was married twice before he dated my mom.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, because my dad married 4 other times after my mom, and I have
Jeez.
I have 2 half siblings that I know, and I really love them because I think at least with my 2 half siblings and their mom, which is my godmother, actually, funny enough, because
My sisters have a similar type of it was either the first or second wife, I don't remember, is the hairdresser for my sisters and their mom. So
Oh,
his
wow.
third wife. And I'm like, I would not let that lady do my hair. She could be sneaking perm into the shampoo, and next
But-
thing you know, I'm bald. Like, what?
That's funny. Well, the thing is, we all have
Why would you? I wouldn't let that lady do my hair.
Yeah, probably not.
See, I wouldn't trust it, but the thing is, we all hate my dad, like collectively, like each married.
No. That's
Yeah.
But letting her do your hair.
That I wouldn't.
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
That's wild.
Because
So-
I feel like I would have some feelings like
You probably
you're
wouldn't-
married to my ex-husband. I don't know.
I don't think I would do it. Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's definitely a little because whenever I see my godmom, she just she doesn't hate me, nor does she, she has
It's
nothing.
not the kid's fault.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
Yeah, she just looks at me and she's like, "You could have been my kid," and I'm like, "Definitely couldn't." But yeah,
I mean, I kind of sort of am.
I basically am because I did grow up with my 2 half brothers, but they are a decade older than me, so yeah. So they're way ahead of me, but it's weird to see them now because one of them just got married recently, and then the other one has 2 kids, and is already married. So it's really interesting because the one that just got married recently, he didn't have a real wedding or I guess a traditional wedding, so nobody was there except I think he probably just got married in the house.
Eloped.
Yeah, he probably got eloped. Because I found out from a profile picture on Facebook that he got married.
Oh well.
So I didn't know that. He didn't even text me or anything. So, but it was very interesting
Forget you
because
too. Turn around.
I was gonna say thanks for sharing that. That was pretty cool.
yeah,
Oh, you're welcome. I'm an open book. Yeah, I used to get really upset about it, but now I just genuinely do not care. And
I'm kinda the
again, I
same way
feel
now,
that's
too,
a
yeah.
dangerous place to be because God forbid he pass away or something. I will not give a single dime of my stay-at-home mom
that's
money
crazy. I'm the same way.
to bury him.
Yeah.
I've told my sister. She laughs about it, but I am so serious. I will, because I'm the oldest, so I'm the next of kin. The decisions will be on me.
Yeah.
I will donate his body to science. I will not.
I wouldn't even do that.
I will not. That's free. Here, take him. He's yours.
I'll just put it in the morgue. Here you go. Leave in the morgue.
I will not. And I'm looking right at this camera. You want some milk? That's between you and TT. I will not spend a dime of my money. And I told my sister, and she was like, "You can't donate his body. What are they going to learn? What not to do? Look at
What
that
not to
heart, blood pressure. No, look at that
That's
belly.
funny.
Diet. No, he looks pregnant. It's
Really?
very rounded. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That beer belly or whatever it's called.
Child. No, not even.
It's just
Just greedy.
it's literally just
greedy,
rotund.
yeah. No beer, just greed.
Oh, that's funny. Well, we can wrap there so that you can get back to mom duties, I guess.
I don't know her.
I don't know her.
Or
I don't.
It's Junie and TT. That's just their
that-
own
oh, I thought
thing.
you were TT.
I am
Oh,
TT, but
yeah.
she's the real TT.
Where did TT
auntie?
come from?
Auntie. Yeah.
The nickname game. I got to get better with that stuff.
It's all right. We'll teach you.
I'll teach you. I don't
Hell
have much
yeah.
nicknames, but yeah. Asher's a good one though.
much it.
No.
I don't know.
Anyway, well, yeah. Hopefully, this is kind of our swing back into things, because actually, I do kind of miss
Yeah.
getting back and talking with people. So hopefully, this could
Cut
be
it
our
out.
reintroduction into the podcast. But thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Paula, for allowing us into your home and talking to you.
Thanks, Mandy Pear.
Yeah. Thanks so much for picking me.
Of course. We were excited because we were talking about it yesterday. I was like, why don't we just ask Alexis? And Cole was like,
He said, I work with a girl named Alexis,
Okay.
and which he's never met in his life before, but he was like, what about Alexis? And I literally was like, who's that?
and then I had to rephrase. I said, my bad. You call her Paula.
And then he was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
Paula. And I was like, I literally forgot your name was Alexis Friends because of the joke, but
He doesn't know your first or last name, apparently.
shut up. Okay.
We're learning.
Yeah,
But-
so we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.